So up till now, I know the course has been pretty bleak, right? I talk about deaths, I talk about the earth changing in a very drastic way. By the way, if I wasn't clear, the amount of people that will die in those changes will be in the billions. The vast majority of people will die, and only a few millions, nobody knows the exact number, will be of high enough frequency to survive. The reason is that our society is very dark, and in general there are much more people that are in darkness than there are people that are of light, or at least high enough in the light that will be able to withstand those densities that I'm talking about. All right, so I know it has been pretty bleak and scary, and now from this point onwards, it's just going to become better. All right, I will be continue to explain more and more of the changes that will come after the Earth changes, and you will see that it's not that bad. You will eventually, I think that by the end of this course, you will realize that what, it's pretty good that all of this is happening, and that's basically the way that many extraterrestrial societies and spirits view these changes. I know that us humans like to think about those changes as some sort of a negative thing, the reality, or a scary thing. I don't know. The reality is that it should be something that we rejoice in. It's something that's joyful and happy, and it's only gonna be wonderful. All of this change. Now, I want to begin to talk a little bit about extraterrestrial societies and how they are all related to the things that I'm talking about in this course. Alright, so first of all, if you don't already know that, so let me surprise you and tell you that extraterrestrials are in abundance, not only in the universe in general, but also in our own solar system. There are many, many, many extraterrestrials all over the universe, and it's a little bit amusing that currently the mainstream media and the majority of people are not aware of that. Even though many people have seen them with their own eyes in many countless, incidents of UFO sightings all over the world, still it's a bit amusing, to me at least, that it's considered a little bit controversial to even talk about it. But anyway, yeah, extraterrestrials exist most definitely in abundance in the universe and even in our own solar system. Just bear in mind that talking about extraterrestrials, especially in our own solar system, they are of such high density, they are such of high vibration and frequency that they don't even have necessarily a human, like a 3D body like we have here on Earth. Alright, so extraterrestrials on, I don't know, or let's say on Saturn, on whatever planet in our own solar system, they don't necessarily even have physical bodies. They may be only in spirit. All right, and may not. There are other planets that they do have third density bodies. But that's not the what I want to talk about in this video. In this video, I want to talk about a very specific group of extraterrestrials. It's called the Federation of Light. All right, the Federation of Light is basically a very important group of extraterrestrials, of many thousands of different extraterrestrial societies, a federation basically, that shares the values of light. All right, the values of light that many religions share, that we in the New Age movement share, and all of that. It's also not a coincidence that it is also the values that are shared by the Federation of Light. All right. This, by the way, humanity is not something that is limited only to Earth. The reality is that those beings, those extraterrestrials, are also considered humanity. All right, humanity is a much bigger thing than just here on Earth. All right, they are not necessarily look exactly like us. They don't, but they are considered to be of the human, human being race or whatever. All right, and there has been a large war between a different type of federation, a different group of beings that are basically of darkness. They are beings that are not interested in us having free will. There are beings that are interested in enslaving humanity in order, for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter, because all of this conflict, remember the conflict between light and darkness, it's also in the higher realms, those extraterrestrial realms. And you should begin to understand that extraterrestrials and spirits and gods, lowercase g gods, all of it, at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. All right, so it's very hard for us humans to understand all of these concepts to begin with, because our experience is more here in third density. So so we give it different names and different labels, but at the end of the day, there's been a large conflict in the last hundreds of years between those beings of light and beings of darkness. And you'll be happy to hear that the beings of light have won, or basically are in the final. Right now we are living in the very last stages of this conflict, and the beings of light, the Federation of Light, have already won. And that's why human society is going through this change. The Federation will help us and are very much interested in us and in showing us the way and guiding us toward the light and being part of this change. Alright, they want to help us. The problem with us, humanity, that we have already passed the point of changing our ways. Even if all humanity right now will agree that we should help the earth and we should stop abusing the earth, it's way too late, way too late. We already done so much damage, and making changes will take so long that it won't work. We need external assistance, and this assistance, you will be happy to hear, is coming from the Federation of Light. The Federation of Light is basically a group of extraterrestrial societies that also have spaceships. They have many spaceships all over close to Earth. We can see them because they use their technologies, for us not to see them, but they are there. And many of the UFO sightings that people experience all over the world are associated with the Federation of Light. They have gigantic spaceships that wait outside of the Earth, and there are many smaller spaceships that come from time to time to do whatever work that needs to be done in order to help the Earth and help us, saves us from the damage that we are doing to the Earth. And some of them even have been very much interested in removing the nuclear threat. Basically, the story goes that these beings the Federation came close to Earth at the time of the first nuclear explosion in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945, at the end of the Second World War, because all of a sudden extraterrestrial beings noticed this huge energetic explosion here on Earth, and they were very much interested in what's going on, and that escalated. And at the end of the day, the current state is that many spaceships are waiting outside of the Earth for the moment of change. Alright, and in the next video I will talk more about our relationship with these spaceships, but the point is that when time comes for the change, will things be really bad, and the Earth changes will arrive and reach the point of no return, what I described in an earlier video. So the beings, the people that can be part of the new age will be joined to these spaceships. Basically, people like you and me, people that are of very high frequency, that are of service and share the values of light. They are the people that will be part of the new age. They will be saved by those extraterrestrial beings. All right. And by the way, that's not a contradiction to any religion. Jesus Christ is also part of this Federation of Light, and many other spiritual beings. It's all the same. It's all the same. There is no contradiction. All right. So in the next video, we will talk more about those spaceships and all of that.